we got a video today from Blackie Speaks, and these are hidden nuggets and things we might have missed from the actual performance. So hopefully I watched my performance of the halftime show for Kendrick Lamar because it was one of the best performances I've seen. Even my son said he liked it, and he's not a K-Dot fan, doesn't listen to Kendrick. He's like 24, but he loved it. But anyway, today are the things we missed. And this is from, like I said, Blackie Speaks. And let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Let me know down in the comments how you felt about the Super Bowl performance. Let me know how. Do you even like hip hop? I mean, if you like hip hop, then most likely you did. If you're not a hip hop guy, let me know. Or you're just a straight Drake guy that don't like Kendrick, let me know. I want to know down in the comments whether you liked it or not. For whatever reason, that's up to you. But if you want to support the channel, hit the like button. That's it. Appreciate it. So let's get to it.
For his Super Bowl performance, and for good reason. Ever since it was announced back in September that Kendrick was going to perform, the hype has been real. And now it finally happened, and people can't stop talking about it. But here's the thing, most people only saw what was on the surface. What they missed was the deeper message Kendrick was sending. This performance wasn't just about entertainment.
And that's the thing. There was so much talk around the Super Bowl, around Kendrick, around Drake, around, Lil Wayne. There was a lot of hostility. So for it finally to be here, and I did enjoy it, so let's find out these nuggets.
It was filled with subliminals, symbolism, and a statement that went way beyond the music. So in this video, we're breaking it all down. What Kendrick was really trying to communicate, and why this might be one of the most important Super Bowl performances we've ever seen. Let's start with some of the basics, what I'd consider the less exciting but still important details. First, we have the A chain, which caught a lot of people's attention. Some fans believe the A could be a subliminal shot at Drake, referencing the A minor line from Not Like Us, or even Drake's real name, Aubrey. While there's definitely a possibility, if you ask me, I think this is more about Kendrick promoting PG Lang. PG Lang, the company Kendrick started in 2020, specializes in music, film, television, and creative production. If you take a look at their merchandise,
and if you watch my thing to this, I actually said that too. Why would K-Dot promote Drake or anyone else when he's on the biggest stage? He's going to make sure the things he's wearing is connected to him, and he's going to make sure that they get the publicity they need. Me personally, I kind of knew this one. But when we think about Kendrick, we think of double and triple entendres, right? So it's also an A minor. It's also Aubrey. It's also what's this kid's name? Adonis. It's all those A's. There's a lot of A's. It's a lot of A's. Sorry.
they frequently use the letter A, making this seem more like a branded promotion rather than a direct shot at Drake. That being said, I wouldn't put it past Kendrick to include this, knowing people would speculate and tie it back to their beef. But overall, I think this was less about the drama and more about using the big stage in America to push his brand forward. And then we have Serena Williams crip walking, which is,
to me, this is still diabolical every time I see it. A lot of people call her out and said that they don't like her crip walk, but that's her crip walk. You dance how you want to do it, and that's her rendition of it.
So petty, but undeniably funny. This moment was, of course, a direct, calculated jab, considering Serena's history with Rizzy. Serena Williams and Drake used to date at one point, for anyone who doesn't know. Their connection first gained traction in August 2015, when paparazzi...
That's back then when she was, like, in the prime. She was in the prime. Like you can see the way her muscles stand out. She still had those 20s muscles. This when Drizzy was in his prime.
Paparazzi snapped them getting cozy at a Cincinnati restaurant. Before that, Drake had already been spotted courtside at her tennis matches, fueling speculation. However, things between...
Hi, I'm Serena. Look, yeah, I'm here to watch her play. I could imagine just Drake at the game, just, hi.
Between Serena and Drake eventually soured. The exact reason, well, nobody truly knows.
So let me ask you a question. Do y'all think she shared any information with Kendrick of the relationship she had with Drake? Let me know that in the comments. I just want to know. Quick question.
But what we do know is that in 2022, Drake took an unexpected shot at Serena's husband, Alexis Ohanian, on his collab album with 21 Savage, Her Loss. He did this on the track Middle of the Ocean, when he said, "Sidebar Serena, your husband a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no boo, it is like you coming for sushi. That was a blatant sign of disrespect, not just towards Alexis, but indirectly.
Now, when you're a rapper, can you say anything about anyone at any time? There's no disrespect. Let me know that in the comments. I'm just things I've always wondered because there's certain things that's supposed to be confidential out the news, and there's certain things that if you're dealing with a rapper or a comedian, then you might as well just be spilling the news to yourself, right? So something like that.
Towards Serena as well. And it was clear that she caught shade. Alexis Ohanian later responded on Twitter, brushing off Drake's comments while proudly embracing his role as a quote-unquote groupie for his wife and daughter. Very respectable man. Fast forward to the Super Bowl, and Serena's playful yet symbolic crip walking during Kendrick Lamar's performance almost felt like a subtle but satisfying clapback for the both of them. I think the deeper context definitely made it hilarious in its own.
It's funny because I wish I read the comment, but her husband responded to the backlash that Serena got for crip walking at the Super Bowl. It came in today. I kind of glanced at it, but I can't even remember what it really said. But he was defending his wife because that's what a husband should do, right? No matter if she's right or wrong, you defend your wife, and you don't worry about that later. As long as you guys are on the same page, that's all that matters. Everybody else,
All right, whether intentional
especially Drizzy.
or not, which it probably was, it was another reminder that hip hop and pop culture history always finds a way to resurface. So Serena, one of Drake's exes, and they obviously had a fallout. What a better way to send a message on the biggest stage than having her dance or crip walk to what is essentially the national.
Wasn't that Venus? Was that in a picture of Venus they just used? I'm not gonna go back and try to terrify because he put some videos. So I'm gonna let it slide over. But that picture looked like Venus, right? We know Serena and Venus are sisters, but I'm not gonna try to expose them. Y'all can go back and check. Let me know in the comments.
No hater anthem against Drake. Also, SZA was up on that stage with
SZA!
Kendrick, and for anyone who didn't know,
SZA was looking good. SZA's in red. SZA's beautiful.
SZA used to actually date Drake back in 2009. Yep. So there's that. For the Serena,
we know that too, man, but it is what it is. They're all celebrities, right?
Angle. There's also another layer to this moment. Serena did grow up in Compton before moving to Florida at the age of 9. So not only does she share hometown roots with Kendrick Lamar, but the fact that they came together collectively to embrace a song that openly disses Drake, that's a shot 100%. It almost felt like a full circle moment. Kendrick, the hometown hero, using his Super Bowl performance to take aim at an industry rival, and then Serena, who grew up in Compton, casually hitting the crip walk to the same song right there on national television. Aside from that, we have Kendrick conveniently turning into the camera as soon as he said, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. Better not go to Cell Block 1." Now that
this shit was diabolical right there. That look that he gave, that's the boogeyman look where it's just like he's like, and it puts you inside of a different. I'm gonna let him talk.
I don't think there's anything particularly deep about that, but if you guys seen the look on this guy's face when he says that, I ain't really gonna say anything. Just look at this guy's face, bro. This face has hate a million times written all over it, okay? Now, that aside, let's actually go over the real.
Yeah, I think I want to see. No, I think Drake was watching the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm sure he's seen the performance by now, but you think he was actually watching it? Because we all know, as much as these artists talk stuff about each other, the only way you're gonna learn about your prey or your target is to study them. And the only way to study them is to listen and see and watch your name get dragged over the Super Bowl. I know Drake watched this. We need some more Drake videos of him watching the Super Bowl, more reactions of those. Send me them. Leave me some links to some of that stuff down in the comments. I want to see those. Let me get those, and we need to get this video up to 100 likes.
Oh shit now, okay? And this is something you're probably only gonna hear here because nobody breaks this down like me. So how about drop a like on this video for your boy? So most people,
make sure I go over there and give him a like, give me a like. I appreciate it. More people would see this video.
Well, obviously paid attention to those surface level things like the A-Chain, Serena, and all that. Those things aside, this wasn't just a performance. This so-called performance, okay, this was actually a political statement. The show opened with none other than legendary actor Samuel L. Jackson introducing Kendrick Lamar. But this wasn't just an introduction. Samuel L. Jackson was dressed as Uncle Sam, the well-known symbol which is supposed to represent the US government. So he's a physical embodiment of the government, okay? And that embodies authority, control, which is essentially the same system that Kendrick has been fighting for the entirety of his career, but most importantly of all, life. Kendrick Lamar has spent his entire
I thought him choosing Samuel Jackson was amazing because if you think of Samuel Jackson, what he means to Black culture, they're aligned perfectly. And I thought the message was well received as far as I think a lot of the culture people that's watching. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Let me know about your comments down there. Let me know. I want to know, like, how y'all feel about Samuel Jackson's performance inside of the celebration? Did y'all think that he helped the performance? Do you think he should have been there? How do you feel? Let me know. I want to know down in the comments. How do you feel about it?
career being critical of the systems in America that have contributed to so much of the pain Black America has faced. He's never shied away from addressing oppression, economic disparity, and systematic racism in his music. In fact, he dedicated an entire album to these themes in 2015 called To Pimp a Butterfly. One of the most striking examples of this is Wesley's Theory,
Go
the
listen
very
to that.
first song
Go
on the album
listen
where
to
Kendrick
that.
raps, "Anything, see, my name is Uncle Sam, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can't live at the mall. I know you're kind, that's why I'm kind. Don't have receipts, oh man, that's fine. Pay me later, wear those gators. Cliche, then say F your haters." Now, this particular song is about the financial traps that have kept Black Americans stuck in a cycle of debt and economic struggle. Kendrick
Crabs in the
paints a picture
barrel.
of the US government personified as Uncle Sam, luring young Black men into a
That's the original Uncle Sam logo. Of course, it's like the original Jesus logo and the original Santa Claus logo. We're going to change that a little darker this year. Let's do it.
false sense of financial freedom, encouraging them to overspend, indulge in materialism, and accumulate debt, all while knowing that the system is designed to keep them from ever truly attaining wealth. Simply put, it's a trap. And Kendrick, being as
Facts.
intentional as he is, wasn't just referencing the song for nostalgia. His decision to have Samuel L. Jackson
That's kind of like being oppressed, and it's kind of how a lot of people are being oppressed in this country now and the past when you go back to the history of the Afrocentricity in this country. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
dressed as Uncle Sam introduced his Super Bowl performance was a callback to this very idea, reminding us that financial literacy, systematic
Yo, and when you look at that thing right there, because the president was also at the Super Bowl. He was at the halftime. He left in the third quarter. So the democracy was also on display. A lot of subliminals was sent, a lot of it. And Samuel Jackson's an amazing actor, man. But he showed up for culture because I'm pretty sure this is free. They don't get paid for this. He's doing this on the behalf of Kato. I don't know. Hey, y'all do some digging. Let me know down in the comments. Did Samuel Jackson get paid to do the Super Bowl halftime show? Because I know Kendrick didn't. They get money to help set up the set and things like that. Allegedly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me know down in the comments. But did they pay him to do what he did, or was this all free? Because this might not something he had to do. He didn't need to do this, but he did it because he knew it was good for Black culture. I'm sorry. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Nuggets.
racism, and the exploitation of Black culture are still very relevant conversations today. Wesley's Theory is a direct reference to actor Wesley Snipes, who famously went to prison for tax evasion. Kendrick used Snipes' situation as a metaphor for how the system sets up Black artists, athletes, and entertainers to fail financially. Wesley Snipes was once one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, but after failing to pay millions in taxes, the American government came down on him hard. While tax evasion is a crime regardless of who commits it, Kendrick's point is that Black celebrities are often placed in a financial trap, encouraged to spend recklessly, not given the tools for financial literacy, and then penalized harshly when they make mistakes. Kendrick's message in Wesley's Theory is that the system doesn't just allow Black success, it profits off of Black success while making sure that the wealth never truly stays within the community. The government gives opportunities, loans, and access to luxury, but then punishes those who
God damn. Oh, he's holding like $1,000 with handcuffs on. Wow. That kind of shows you what he's really talking about. You're arrested, but you're free.
don't navigate the system correctly. It's a cycle, one that's intentionally designed to keep Black people chasing wealth without ever achieving true financial independence. And when you bring this back to the Super Bowl performance, the symbolism becomes even clearer. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam wasn't just a random creative choice, it was a statement. Kendrick was showing that the same oppressive forces he's been rapping about for years are still at play.
Now, listen, I only watched the first 2 minutes of this video. I'm reacting to this, so I don't know what's coming. So you're getting a full reaction of what we're talking about. But we all see the Super Bowl by now. And I'm going to say some stuff that is going to relate because at the end of the day, we're all culturally connected, right? And if you're new to the culture, we appreciate you here. Just listen and understand what we're talking about.
Even on one of
Like the video if you're still here, and I appreciate if you're still here. I love you. Let's go.
America's biggest stages while he's on that stage. Essentially, Kendrick is saying the same forces that allowed me to get on the stage, the ones that helped me get to my success and wealth, are the same forces still controlling the game while I'm performing on this stage. It's a paradox. Kendrick is saying that, hey, I know that I'm benefiting from the system, but he's also a product of the system's constraints. All right, we're not playing that entire clip, man, because they're trying to get my motherfucking coins out here, bro, and I'm not gonna let.
Listen, everybody trying to get copyright claims out here, man. Everybody trying to get their whatever it's UMG. You know, when we did the Grammys, we had an issue with that. Now, Apple Music is like, bruh, no. K-Dot is they gonna put their copyright out. So we couldn't really show too much because they was like, yo, you want to pop out and show, you're gonna have to pay. So let's get it.
Let that happen. And that's why Samuel L. Jackson, representing the US government, injects himself into the performance by saying, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. This moment isn't just about performance theatrics. It's a direct critique of how Black expression is often policed and commodified. It's the system allowing Kendrick to exist, but only under certain conditions. The message is clear. Be successful, but not too successful. Speak out, but not too loud. Stay in line, play the game, and don't disrupt the system that benefits you. Now, the game he's referring to is the entertainment industry itself, the same industry that uplifts, but of course exploits Black artists at the same time. It's the idea that as long as you're making money for the system, you're welcome. But the moment you challenge it too much, you become a problem. Kendrick has played this game masterfully throughout his career. He's managed to critique the system while still thriving within it. But at the Super Bowl, one of the biggest stages in America, he's making it clear. I know exactly what this is, and I know exactly how much freedom I actually have. Now, this is where Drake comes into the picture. Drake is a Canadian guy who, unlike Kendrick, has never been positioned as a revolutionary or a disruptor. He plays the game effortlessly, adapting to every trend, every industry shift, and every cultural moment without ever truly challenging the system. The battle between Kendrick and Drake isn't just about music or two rappers going at each other. It represents something bigger. It's yin versus yang, good versus evil, authenticity versus industry manipulation. Kendrick is the artist who constantly critiques the system, calling out its flaws and exposing its traps. Drake, on the other hand, is the artist who thrives within the confines of the system. Drake, for a long time, has represented the industry's favorite artist, marketable, accessible, and not so controversial. Kendrick, on the other hand, represents the people's artist, critical, disruptive, and unwilling to conform. Their rivalry has been painted as just another rap beef, but on a deeper level, it's a clash of ideologies. That's really what it is. So when Kendrick takes on the biggest stage in American entertainment and turns it...
You know what's crazy about that when you think about it? Like, when you look at it like this, you have friends in your group, right? And there's one of them that doesn't talk a lot, right? And you respect that person because they don't talk a lot because you have no idea what they're mentally thinking all the time. You just always have to wonder. And then you have that one person that just blah, 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 all the time and they won't shut up. That's kind of what you got. You got K-Dot, you got Drake. One's always talking. He puts out 2 albums a year. He's all over Instagram. He's telling everything. K-Dot puts out an album maybe every 4 years, every 3 years. You know, he's quiet. You don't hear from him. That's kind of what he's talking about right here. That's kind of what it is.
Into a statement against the system, it's not just about Drake. It's what he symbolizes. It's Kendrick reminding the world that the industry rewards those who play the game and silence those who question it. And by performing not like us, He made sure that message was loud and clear. Now, later on, before Kendrick is about to perform Peekaboo, Samuel L. Jackson delivers the line, "I see you brought your homeboys with you." The old culture cheat code, scorekeeper, deduct one life. This is more than just a random transition, it's a loaded statement. This moment ties directly into the overarching theme of the performance, the battle between playing a game and challenging the system just enough. "I see you brought your homeboys with you." On the surface, it acknowledges Kendrick bringing his team, his culture, and most importantly of all, his people to the stage. But coming from Samuel L. Jackson, who's playing Uncle Sam, the symbol of the US government and the industry's power, it carries a condescending tone. It suggests that Kendrick is leaning on the strength of his roots, his community, and Black culture.
You know, that was one of the things that when I heard him say it, I kind of wondered what he meant when he said, "You brought your people with you." And it stands out more now that I kind of, because culturally, he brought that. He brought true hip hop. You know, he always revert to Nas because Nas is culturally connected to real hip hop. And that's one of the reasons how Kendrick pulls in the rest of the culture, because who doesn't like Nas? Maybe people on the West Coast, right? But everybody on the East Coast love Nas, right? So if he loved Nas and we love Nas, we love him. But everybody in the West Coast don't need to love Nas. You know why? Because they love K-Dot. So culturally, he's covered the entire United States, Europe, and yes, I'm sorry to say, Australia as well. I'm sorry. Let me try and get back to this. I want to stop too much longer because this is a longer video. It's been amazing. Make sure you go over there and give Blackie Speaks a follow. Amazing breakdown. Amazing breakdown.
Culture to make an impact. It's almost as if Uncle Sam is saying, "Oh, so you're using your people, your authenticity, your Blackness as a way in?" And it's funny because Blackness is literally the source of everything in the entertainment industry: music, style, culture. But when it comes to the image that the industry wants to represent, it's often watered down, controlled, or repackaged to be more digestible for
Yep.
mainstream audiences. Hip hop, R&B, and Black culture as a whole have shaped every major movement in music and entertainment. Yet the industry has historically treated Black artists as both the foundation and the afterthought. Black artists are expected to innovate, set trends, and define culture. But when they become too outspoken or too disruptive or too unapologetically Black, they're met with resistance. And this is that resistance.
You chilling. Yeah. So I just got a quick call. But anyway, we breaking down this the nuggets and things we missed. So let's get back to it.
At play. When Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam dismisses Kendrick's authenticity as just a cultural cheat code, it reflects how the industry uses Black culture while trying to control who gets to profit from it. So this could be a subtle dig at how the industry exploits Black culture, allowing artists to bring their background into the mainstream only when it benefits the system. Also, he's performing Peekaboo, so let's talk about the white outfits, okay? Because those white outfits right there is definitely more than just a fashion choice. If you follow Kendrick's career, you know that he doesn't do anything without intention. In a situation like this, there's a strong argument that this was a direct reference to the KKK and the idea of America.
I thought so. I thought it had something to do because when you think of white, the white, red, and blue, and I thought the white would have been white supremacists, you know, and I didn't want to step over, but it seemed like I could have been right.
All the dancers dressed in white, moving in unity, while Kendrick performs a song that directly calls out Drake, who's supposed to represent the system. That visual alone is very symbolic. The Ku Klux Klan, also known as the KKK, is known for.
Ooh. That's exactly what I thought about when I saw that. Yeah, I go back. This is exactly what I thought about. This is the only white in this country. Now, I've been here since I was 9 years old, so I've been, yes, against. Yeah, I've been there. I've been calling a ninja. Yeah, football games, playing against the Eurocentric schools. Yeah, I've been calling ninja in the huddles, in the pylon and all that stuff. Yeah. But let's get back.
For wearing white robes, representing white supremacy, oppression, and the same systematic racism Kendrick has been speaking out against his entire career. And let's not forget that hip hop has been calling out America, from Ice Cube to Tupac, and now Kendrick is continuing that tradition on one of the biggest stages in America. This could also be a reference to Colin Kaepernick. The NFL has a complicated history with race, from how the Colin Kaepernick situation played out to the way black artists have been selectively allowed to perform on certain stages. And yet Kendrick gets up there and flips the entire thing into a critique of the system itself. It's almost like he's saying, look, I know what country this is, I know how this game is played, and I know exactly where we stand. Now, right before Kendrick is about to perform Not Like Us.
And listen, this is one of the things I always talked about when it came to the white in the performance. And I've always linked it to once the neo-Nazi, the white hoods in our country. That's what I see. It's the only thing that makes sense. You know, I've been in this country since I was 9 years old. So I've been here since 87, and I've seen a lot of things. And that is the only representation that I could think about that would represent what he means in this video. So let's continue.
Robes, representing white supremacy, oppression, and the same systematic racism Kendrick has been speaking out against his entire career. And let's not forget that hip-hop has been calling out America from Ice Cube to Tupac, and now Kendrick is continuing that tradition on one of the biggest stages in America. This could also be a reference to Colin Kaepernick. The NFL has a complicated history with race, from how the Colin Kaepernick situation played out to the way black artists have been selectively allowed to perform on certain stages. And yet Kendrick gets up there and flips the entire thing into a critique of the system itself. It's almost like he's saying, look, I know what country this is, I know how this game is played, and I know exactly where we stand. Now, right before Kendrick is about to perform Not Like Us, Samuel L. Jackson delivers another loaded line.
That's what America wants.
So we're gonna have to cut that short because copyright is beating my fucking ass right now, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't miss this. And before he can even finish, Kendrick cuts him off, launching straight into Not Like Us. So this moment wasn't just theatrical. Now, this moment wasn't just theatrical. It was symbolic. It was the system quite literally being interrupted. Samuel L. Jackson, still playing the role of Uncle Sam, the government, the establishment, the industry, was essentially telling Kendrick, this is what we want from you. Something safe, something that doesn't challenge us. You're almost where we want you. Stay in line and don't ruin it. But Kendrick doesn't let him finish. Instead, he shuts him completely down and jumps straight into Not Like Us. Arguably the most rebellious moment of the entire
5-time Grammy winning the week before. I'm trying not to talk too much. I know this is a longer video, but it's hard not to say anything because it's just, let's keep going, Blackie.
Show. And that right there, that's the perfect representation of how America has always tried to police black voices. The government has a history of suppressing outspoken black figures, whether through censorship, blackballing, or outright violence. The entertainment industry has a habit of rewarding black artists only when they play by the rules and punish those who challenge the system.
And they're the ones that make the rules. So they playing by rules they made. So who's really winning?
The media often tries to dictate how black artists should behave, expecting them to be nice and calm rather than unapologetic and disruptive, because when other groups of people speak up, it's seen as passion, advocacy, standing up for what's right. But when black people speak up, suddenly it's labeled as aggression, a threat, or something that needs to be controlled. But Kendrick isn't here to be controlled. The second Uncle Sam tries to contain him, he breaks free by being his loud, aggressive self and does the very thing they don't want him to do. And then to top it all off, Kendrick ends his Super Bowl performance with the song TV Off, which quite literally means turn the damn TV off.
Turn this TV off. Turn this.
I think there are two major layers to why Kendrick chose to end this performance with this song. First of all, it's definitely a universal message to everyone. In a world where people are constantly fed media narratives, propaganda, and distractions, Kendrick is telling the audience to wake up. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest spectacles in America. Corporations spend billions just to have a commercial slot because they know the whole world is watching.
$8 million. I think it's for 30 seconds. $8 million for 30 seconds. That's what it was this year. There was a thing they showed, and it said the first Super Bowl commercials that was actually recorded was $4,000 for a 30-minute slot. The first Super Bowl, it was $4,000. Now, this 2025 Super Bowl, it was $8 million. 8 million. That is crazy. Think about that.
Watching the game, the halftime show, the ads, it's all a distraction from real life issues that don't go away once the TV is off. Kendrick ending with TV off could be him saying, enough with the distractions. Think for yourself. And then the other half of the message is a message to Black America. The media has historically controlled the narrative about Black people, whether through the news, entertainment, or politics, or the entertainment industry. The way Black artists, athletes, and leaders are portrayed is often filtered through a lens of control, only showing what fits the agenda. So when Kendrick closes off his performance with TV off, it's his way of telling Black America to stop letting the media dictate their reality. Don't let America decide who your heroes are. Don't let the system control the
That's true. Basically, you got to make your own choices. Don't let anyone decide for you. That's pretty much what they're saying. You need to be you. And remember, there's only one of you. And you're unique in that way. So as long as you understand that, you ain't got to worry about what everybody else think. Be a leader, not a follower. Always be a leader.
narrative. Kendrick was clearly sending a message with this performance, and I can't believe there are people who thought this was just a regular halftime show, but then again, it makes sense. The masses only see what's on the surface. That's how it's always been. Most people just saw a high energy performance, a few viral moments, and some controversy, but if you've been following Kendrick's career, you already know that this man never does anything without a purpose, and that's why I respect him so much. You can't hear me break all this down and still think it was just about entertainment. Love him or hate him, Kendrick has always been about the message. He's never been the type to chase clout or drop music just for the sake of it. Every time he speaks, he's saying something, and this performance was just another example of that. And this is exactly why I'm so happy he's having this moment, because we finally have an artist on the biggest stage in America who's as authentic as an artist can possibly be. From mixtape Kendrick to Super Bowl Kendrick, I've been following this guy since he first came in the game. Sounded like Lil Wayne back when he was still, Lil K Dot, rapping over other people's beats and finding his voice. So to see him evolve from that young kid from Compton to a cultural icon who's using the Super Bowl as a statement, that's iconic and legendary. Honestly, it's great. And what makes it even greater is how much he's able to say with so little. And this is what separates Kendrick from everyone else. He doesn't just tell you, he shows you. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, the system controlling black artists, the dancers dressed in white, possible reference to America and white supremacy, cutting off Uncle Sam before Not Like Us, defying the system in real time, ending with TV off, the final statement, wake up, stop being distracted.
If you also notice, every time the people in white show up, it's either because they're white supremacy or it's an aggression in some sort against Afrocentricity, if you really look at it. And whenever you see the white in the video kind of with him, there's a meaning towards that when he's basically going up against the aggression. And we know who the aggression is. But none of us can sit here and say we didn't expect Kendrick to put out something like this with a lot of nuggets, because after I was done the reaction and there was so many things that I saw that I was like, what? I can't wait for another video. I can't wait for the first video. And I know Blackie Speaks was going to drop one, and basically and I'm sure he may drop a part 2 to this. I haven't seen the end of this. It's coming up on the end, but he may drop a part 2 to this, because I'm sure there's things that we're still dissecting out of this.
Every single moment was intentional. This wasn't just a performance, guys. This was a culture moment right here. But I'm, of course, just one man with one perspective and one voice, which is why I want to hear what you guys have to say about this entire Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar. If you're new here, my name is Blackie Speaks. So nice to meet you. Like the video and, of course, subscribe if you are new here. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Catch you.
So that's Blackie Speaks. And those are nuggets from the Super Bowl performance highlight show. And let me know down in the comments what you think. I thought this was one of the best performances I've ever seen. I enjoyed it. Watching it again, I enjoyed it again every time I see it. If you're a true hip-hop fan, I think you'll really enjoy this show. And I don't think it should matter if you're a Drake fan or not. If you're a hip-hop fan, this show should enlighten you. From the acapella that he did to, he kept it hip-hop. He could have went with bigger songs. Yes, he had songs that was bigger. He had songs with Taylor. He had so many bigger songs, but that's not rap. That's not hip hop. He wanted to make sure it stayed culturally to hip hop. The acapella was amazing. It was to me, one of the best highlight of the show, because hip hop started with beat bop and, you know, Dougie Fresh, Biz Markie, that type of stuff, when there was no sample back there yet. There was nothing. It was beat bopsing. And a lot of people don't understand what that is, but I do. And I know the real hip hop fans do. So let me know down in the comments how you feel about this. If you still with me at this point, hit the subscribe button, share the video with your friends, and I appreciate you staying to the end. Right here, I'm going to leave another video to see. Peapod Cove. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have an amazing day.